Alright, we're gonna do another awesome video. Yours truly. Shout out to Justin. Hope you do this assignment. Okay, this is page 173. And we're talking about proportions. Okay, so all we're gonna do is to solve this proportion is we're gonna do two things. We're gonna cross multiply and divide. So remember, the first thing we do is cross multiply, and the second thing is we divide. Oops, look at that. Divide. Okay? It's not right too. Okay, divide. So cross multiply and divide. So the first thing we do here, okay, we look at the problem. Okay, number one, we cross multiply. 1.5p times 1.5 times p is 1.5p equals, well, what's 6 times 10? Well, 60. We cross multiply and now we divide. And we divide by whatever is next to the letter or the variable. So we're going to divide by 1.5. Both sides. This goes away. And so now you use table. Top in, bottom out. You cannot have a decimal in the divisor, so you're going to move it to the front. And now you're going to move this guy to the front. Well, there's no decimal here, but it's understood to be in the front of the number, so we move it once. And so now we have the decimal there. 15 does not go into 6. 15 goes into 60 4 times. 15 times 4 is 60. Look, 15 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 1 plus 2 is 60. So then this is 60. 0. Bring the 0 down. 15 does not go into 0, so then we put a 0 there. And that's my answer. Okay, I'll do another one. I want to do all of these. Okay, number 2 there. I'm sorry, number 3. Number 3. Cross multiply divide. Okay. So we get 2 times 0.07. So, well, if you don't know, look, just put it next to each other, put it like this. That's 7 times 2 is 14. How many numbers to write at the decimal? 1. So it's 1.4. And so we get 1.4 equals, well, what's 0.4 times W? Well, that's 0.4W. Okay. What am I going to do next? I'm going to divide by whatever is next to the variable or the letter. So we're going to divide both sides by 0.4. And so this goes away. And so now we have W equals, well, you got to use table. Okay. Top in, bottom out. So top in, bottom out. Don't forget to move the decimal once to the front and once over here. So now you have 4 into 14. It goes in 3. Okay, so 4 goes into 14 3 times. 4 times 3 is 12. Okay? And so now 14 minus 12 is 2. And so we add a 0. And so how many times is 4 going to 20? Well, 4 goes into 20 5 times. Okay? And so we get 5 times 4 is 20. So the remainder is 0. And so that means that W equals 3.5. Okay. So now let's go to number 4. Okay, we're going to try number 4. And so number 4 is, it says Everardo paid $1.12 for a dozen eggs at his local grocery store. Determine the cost of 3 eggs. So you're comparing the cost over the amount of eggs you're getting. So $1.12 for a dozen. Well, that's a key word, dozen. Okay, a dozen. So I know a dozen is 12. So that means we're getting $1.12 is going to cost me for 12 eggs. Well, we're going to set up the proportion next to it. Well, if the cost is on top, and the eggs if the cost is on top and the eggs are at the bottom, then okay, so if the if the cost is on top and the eggs are at the bottom, where would the 3 eggs go? Well, the 3 eggs would go here because we're talking about eggs. And then you would find the eggs, and all you do is cross multiply and divide. The same thing we did with the other problem. 12 times x is 12x. 1.12 times 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. Two numbers to the right of decimal, 1, 2. So we get 3.36. Okay. I have to, now you have this. All you gotta do is finish it. Okay. So all you gotta do is divide. Let's look at number 5. Sheila mixed 3 ounces of blue paint with 3 ounces of yellow paint. Okay. She decided to create 20 ounces of the same mixture. Okay. So how many ounces of yellow paint does Sheila need for the new mixture? So she's mixing colors together because it's a mixture. So she wants to know how many ounces of yellow. So yellow to the mixture. In other words, you're comparing yellow to the mixture or the total. Okay? So think there when you're making your proportion. Okay? You're comparing yellow to the mixture or the total, because when you mix something, we're going to put it together. She's going to mix 3 ounces of blue with 2 ounces of yellow. So this is putting these together and make a mixture. So then how many ounces of yellow does she need? Well, we know one of them. We know that she's going to use 3 ounces of blue and mix it with 2 ounces of yellow. So that means that for 2 ounces of yellow, she's going to use 5 ounces of total paint, because she's going to use 3 ounces of blue and 2 ounces of yellow. So 3 plus 2 is 5, and she's going to mix that. And then now she wants to make a new mixture, but she wants to use 20 ounces. So then how much of this 20 ounces would have to be yellow to keep the same ratio? Okay, so think about that. Cross multiply and divide. Number 6 there. A car can travel at 476 miles in 14 gallons. How many gallons of gas does she need to travel 578 miles? Okay. You're comparing miles to gallons. Okay, so we can make a proportion that way, miles to gallons. You have one of the ratios right here. Okay, 476 miles, I need 14 gallons. I want to travel 578 miles. Okay, well, miles is on going this way, gallons is going this way. So then where would I put this 578 miles? Well, I wouldn't put it here because we're talking about gallons. So I'll put it here, 78 miles. And then I don't know what this is, I would put an X. And just cross multiply and divide. Okay, number 7 there. Ms. Baker paid $2.50 for 5 pounds. That's one ratio there. $2.50 for 5 pounds. Write an equation relating the cost C to the number of pounds P of bananas. How much would Ms. Baker pay for 8 pounds of bananas? Okay, so we're comparing. Well, look at the first ratio. There's dollar signs, there's pounds, so obviously we're comparing the cost to the pounds. Okay, obviously $2.50 will give me 5 pounds. Well, you want to buy 8 pounds. How much would that cost you? Okay, cross multiply and divide. Number 8 there, we're going to use this picture here on the side. Okay, you're comparing, well, let's read it first. A woman is 64 inches tall, has a shoulder width of 16 inches. Write an equation relating the height H to the width W. Determine the height of the woman who has a shoulder width of 18.5 inches. So you're comparing the height to the width. So right there, height to width. Okay, so H for height, W for width. Okay, well, the first ratio is given to you. It's right there. It's even in the picture. Her height is 64 inches. Well, it's right here also, 64 inches tall. So I'm going to put 64. The width, well, it's telling you right there, 16. So the width is 16. Well, determine the height of a woman who has a shoulder width of 18.5 inches. So let's say we have another woman, but her width is 18.5. Well, where would the width go? Remember, height has to be around this way. Width has to be at the bottom, because that's where we put the width. If I were to put width on top and height at the bottom, well, then it would be different. But since I put width here, then I'm going to have width over here. And so I'm going to put this number, 18.5. And then I'm just going to put an X and then cross multiply and divide. So remember, always, first thing you do is you cross multiply. And number 2, then you divide. Okay? And you'll get these problems with ease. Okay? Good luck. Adios.